On continue avec la conférence de presse après le match entre les Wildcats de Moncton et les Knights de London. We continue with the post-game press conference following the matchup between the Moncton Wildcats and the London Knights. Here with me now are Dale Hunter, Sam O'Reilly, and Casper Halton. And gentlemen, I just want to start with your thoughts on tonight's game.
Well, it was a hard-fought game. Two good teams battling away, and tight check-in and good offensive plays.
Sam?
I thought we were all right. Thought we could have been better, more sharper, but it's been a little bit since we've played and came out on the right side.
Casper?
Yes, as Sam said, we were at our best from the start, and I think we got back into it a little bit, in the third, and got the win. So that's all that matters.
All right, just right. Oh, Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, Sam, you played with Easton Cowan enough. Do you know where to put your stick when he's doing a spin move or something like that, or do you know? Have you guys kind of melded your minds, kind of the way Barkey and him have?
I just try to get to the net. He does all of his creative stuff up top, and it's always the best place to go to the net. And throws pucks there a lot, and fortunate enough to be open for him.
Were you happy it was 3-on-3 instead of 5-on-5, or how did you feel about that?
Either way would have been fine.
You still would have scored.
Hopefully, yeah.
Dale, 48 shots against the best defense team in the country. Is it like a statement for your team tonight to show that
No,
it was probably the two best team in the country this season?
Well, they're a good team, and we fired a lot of pucks, but ended up 2-2 game until we scored in overtime.
Just for both of you, you had very strong Memorial Cups last year. Is this just a carryover, or do you look at it as a new thing that has to be tackled?
Well, I think it's a new tournament, and we want a different outcome this year, and we've been talking about it all year, and that's what we're trying to do now.
Yeah. You know what? It's a whole new tournament, different teams, and as Peanut said, we want a different outcome here this year.
Dale, why do these guys raise their level at this tournament?
Oh, they're good players, and they want to win really bad. So it's one of those things, they just play hard, and when the big games are on the line, they come through.
Casper, you tied our record tonight. Ty Ratty, 5 consecutive cup games with a goal. After the playoffs, what do you think about starting this way here?
Really doesn't matter to me. Just trying to help the team win and do the best that I can.
Dale, what do you guys take away here from tonight? You get Rimouski tomorrow. You got to see them play last night. Just the biggest takeaways from tonight is it's tomorrow.
Well, again, there's 4 good teams in here, so we're just going to have another tough team tomorrow, and we have to play our game and bounce back.
Sam, you guys establish a loud bench throughout the game. How important is that to, as Moncton comes up back and ties it in, you guys push towards a win?
Yeah, we're a tight-knit group, and, everybody wants the same outcome on our team, and everybody wants each guy to do the best that they can, and, whatever guy it is everybody's rooting for each other, and I think that's why we bond so well together.
Casper, you now have 9 goals at your last 4 games. Do you feel like you play your best hockey of the year right now?
Yeah, for sure. It's always been the bright lights for me, and these big games. It's something that gets me going, and that's just what I love to do.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Denver starting this one with an overtime win. How crucial was getting the first win in Game 1 for you guys?
Yeah, I think it was huge. I didn't think we had the best start, but as the game went on, I think we got better and, found our game in the third and then kind of carried that over into OT. So, just big to get a win and move on to tomorrow.
Sam gets the opening goal and then ended in OT. What can you say about the way he played in this game defensively and then with 2 huge goals?
Yeah, he's been great for us all year, on both sides of the puck. And, he's worked super hard all year and, watch him grow as a player. Not surprised, takes all the spotlight tonight and, scores two massive goals for us.
You guys see OHL teams all year, but this is your first, chance outside your league. Where does that team compare when it comes to opponents you faced all year long?
Yeah, no. After the game, he said they're a really good hockey team. They play really well defensively, and they've got offensive talent up front that they can score goals at ease. So, we didn't know too much about them. We watched a bit of video, but they're a really strong team, and they gave us a hard fight.
Getting back out there for yourself, how comfortable do you feel? And playing on a back-to-back, how do you feel heading into that?
Yeah, I felt really good today. It was just good to get back, into a game situation. It had been a bit since Game 5 of the finals, so good to get back into it. Just be on the bench with the guys, and another win. It was awesome.
How crucial was your goaltender getting the win today?
Great. Austin Elliott's been great for us all year. He's been a rock back there. He made some big saves in OT, kept us in it, and yeah, like I said, we were fortunate enough to come out with the win.
By the second period, you were on the penalty kill and stuff. Dale was kind of easing you in at the start, and it looked like you built your confidence as you went on.
Yeah, like I said, I felt really confident coming into the game, and I knew that we were going to ease into it a bit, and then by the second period I was getting some PK and power play and all that. So yeah, like I said, it was good to get out there, and huge to get the win.
Here's a loaded one. After the missed too many men call, are you glad that you guys won that thing?
Yeah, it's hockey. It happens. There's missed calls all over the ice, and I think us as a group we were just focused on the game and the task at hand, and we stuck with it in OT, even though they missed that call. But yeah, like I said, it's huge to get the win today, and we're looking forward to getting Rimouski tomorrow.
You remember losing, and it would have been another heartbreaker to lose this. What was said in the dressing room? Anything special? Or?
Nothing special. They're a good team. Like they gave us a hard fight, and we just wanted to. Like I said, I don't think we had the best start, but as the game went on, I thought we got better and better. And OT, I thought we were, really good. Ozzy made some good saves, and then, we got the puck, and Cal made a nice move, and Peanut scored a nice goal.
Sam, you guys get the win in Game 1. How important was it for you guys to get the victory, especially after going to overtime?
Yeah, it was obviously huge. We talked a lot about Game 1 of the tournament, kind of carrying momentum through. Obviously, with the quick turnaround into tomorrow, we understood that today was a big one, and to get that win was really nice.
When you consider going to overtime, how nice is it with a 6 o'clock puck drop that you're not so much later into the night now?
Yeah, it definitely is big. Coming in after the game, I remember looking up at the clock and seeing that it was, I think it was like 9:30 or something instead of, nearly 11. So a little bit nicer that way. Obviously, we get in a little bit earlier, and we're not up as late, focusing on tomorrow, so it's nice.
What can you say about Sam's game? Scores the opener, scores the OT winner.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of become what he's been for us. He's just a big clutch time player. I think when you look throughout the season, I think most of his goals come at times that are huge for our entire team. Opening goals to set the tone for the game, or a goal like that to finish it, just speaks to the player that he is.
What can you say about that Moncton team? You played OHL teams all year. Where do they rank, in terms of competition?
Yeah, they won the Q for a reason. They're obviously a really good team, really well coached. Some high-end players that can make some pretty nice plays. So it's always fun going up against a team that you've never seen before. I think that's what makes the appeal of this tournament so intense. So it's exciting, and yeah, obviously definitely one of the best teams probably ever faced.
How do you refresh and reset for Rimouski tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's big. Just kind of just move on. Obviously, game's over. Not really much to look back on. Obviously, with how quick this tournament is, look forward to tomorrow. Obviously, do some video on today and look at what Rimouski's got for us tomorrow, and then from there it's tomorrow night, and then after that, Tuesday night, or I think that's when the game is.
What evaluation are you doing of your play right now, of the way you're playing right now?
Yeah, I think at this point in the season, when it gets to now, it's just however I can help my team win. That's the big thing. I think once the big time games come around, that's really all it's about. I think you've probably heard a lot of guys talking about the sacrifice guys are making to win games. Obviously, we're a tight knit group who just doesn't really care who gets the goals or anything like that. We just care that the London Knights get them. That's big for us. So it's just kind of being tight, focusing on our team, and individual stuff will come if the team success is there first.
Do you feel like you thrive in a role where you're having big minutes and where you're being the number one defenseman of the team?
Yeah, I think again, if that's the role that I need to be put in, and I need to play big minutes or whatever it is, I'm happy to do that. But at the same time, if we start to my game starts to fall a little bit and another guy steps up, it's just as good. I'm worried about winning hockey games. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how it gets done as long as it gets done.